You are listening to The Thought Leaders Show with the world's cutting-edge, hottest innovators, influencers, and impact makers today. If you are looking for inspiration and motivation, listen in. Welcome to The Thought Leaders Show. Now, here's your host.
Hi, this is Tammy Patzer, and I'm really excited to introduce today's guest, Darren Coleman. Darren is a passionate information technology professional, entrepreneur, and technology author based in Langley, British Columbia, Canada. Currently, he is the president and certified IT administration for Coleman Technologies, which he founded in 1999. Throughout the span of nearly 2 decades, Darren has acquired extensive expertise in the world of information technology and has directly worked with some of the top real estate franchises in the nation. As a technical specialist in a multitude of areas, his key forte lies in consulting, IT management services, computer security, and more. Darren's avid interest in technology has led to his extensive training and many certifications in areas such as information technology and computer support specialist, certified ethical hacker, and data certified advanced technician. He also possesses his CompTIA A+ and CompTIA Network Plus qualification and has completed extensive training in Linux administration and configuration. When he isn't immersed in his career, Darren enjoys traveling and spending time outdoors with his family and friends. Most importantly, Darren enjoys nothing more than spending quality time with his lovely wife and children. He and his wife are the proud parents of 3 beautiful girls. And Darren just returned from a speaking engagement at Harvard Faculty Club for the Harvard Business Expert Forum. And he's the author of 2 #1 best-selling books, Easy Prey, How to Protect Your Business from Data Breach, Cyber Crime, and Employee Fraud. And he's featured in the book Thought Leaders, Business Expert Forum at Harvard Faculty Club. Wow, Darren, welcome.
Thank you, Tammy. Thanks for having me, and thanks for that great introduction.
Well, you have such a really phenomenal background, and I love the term certified ethical hacker. that makes you stop, but that's really an interesting thing, because in the world today, especially you in the book that you're part of, we really have to be aware of what's going on in the cyber world. So tell me more about who you help.
Yeah, well, we help, any small business owner or manager that's, tired of dealing with computer problems, any small business owner or manager that has a network that runs slow or acts crazy, or really any business owner that's, worried about data loss, viruses, and keeping their network safe from hackers.
So what do you think is the biggest issue facing business people today related to their computers?
Well, the biggest issue today would be cybercrime, ransomware, hackers, that sort of thing. You simply, you can't set up your computer and connect it to the internet and never touch it again. That's a surefire way for disaster. Tammy, if you think about it like your car, your car will drive for a long time without any maintenance of any kind. You can even ignore, changing the tires or the oil or, any type of regular maintenance before you end up broken down. Unfortunately, if you wait till your car literally stops running, you're going to incur far more charges, towing and repairs and getting it back on the road, not to mention the hassle of being without your car for that time. And your network, is just like that. The problem, most business owners don't have anyone monitoring or maintaining their network. And, it works fine until some major crash or problem occurs. And then they end up with, this downtime and it costs them a few $1,000s to get it back up. But even then, they might end up losing data that can't be recovered. Or, they might end up ruining client relationships because a hacker has accessed their client's credit card data or simply spam them with, a nasty virus from their server. And of course, the maintenance is going to make their network run a lot more faster, and it's going to be more stable. And, they won't get the surprise of failure or other problems near as often. But again, the biggest mistake many business owners make is thinking that everything is running okay now, and they don't need to invest a little bit of time or money to keep their network maintained and their data secure.
It's interesting that you brought up the hacking and protecting your clients' information, because there have been many cases in the news where big companies have had been hacked into, and then of course they've lost millions of dollars because people don't trust them, and they actually stop shopping at these different locations or restaurants or stores. So this is affecting your bottom line, having your computer networks up and running, isn't it?
Oh, for sure. As a small business owner, you're always under attack. There's well-funded cyber rings in China and Russia and the Ukraine, and they're using sophisticated software to, hack thousands of businesses, just like probably some of the people listening, and they steal credit cards and customer information. And, don't think because you're small that you're immune to it. Big companies like Home Depot and JP Morgan, they're in the news, but, the small businesses, they're the ones paying the price every day.
Right. And a big company can probably absorb some of it, but when it could actually put a little person out of business if something like that happened. So when people work with you, why do you think that most people, when they choose you, why would they choose you over other people? Why would they become your customer?
Yeah, so we knew that we had to find a better way to deliver regular critical monitoring and maintenance to our clients that allowed us to monitor their networks 24/7, because this is happening all the time. But we also knew we had to make it very affordable. So what we've done is we invested in a new technology that allows us to automate a large portion of the maintenance, and the monitoring. We do that for a fraction of the price, and it's far cheaper than you could do on your own. But it's even cheaper than what our competitors would charge, and that's how we came up with this program. We call it the full fixed fee program. And the single biggest benefit to our clients would be peace of mind. They pay one flat monthly fee, and we provide them with a combination of on-site and remote support for their network to make sure it's not only just performing at peak performance, but also that your data is secured and protected from these hackers and viruses and spyware and spam and hardware failure, and even employee sabotage. We make sure that your backups are functioning, that your virus definitions are up to date and constantly being up to date, that your firewall is configured properly, because quite often it's not, and that your server is functioning properly and that it's not about to crash.
Wow, it's interesting when you mentioned the employee sabotage, because I imagine that you trust these people to come in, and then of course with a couple pushes of a button they could wipe out everything you've got. And so that would be really important, that you would have a backup and everything that's secure, so that just some simple thing like that of having somebody want to sabotage you because they're mad at you for some reason, that peace of mind, that is really something that is really important. So you actually created a program, so it's just one full fixed fee and they get that full protection that you provide, and that safety net of having everything backed up.
Sure. Yeah. Basically, we have a pie chart that is a bunch of different pieces that are required for technology to operate efficiently, and you get the full pie. We call it all bases covered. We basically take the initiative with your network. We do your vendor management, your professional services, your security management. We even do business cloud hosting and your backup and disaster recovery. So we try and make sure we have all the bases covered, for our clients.
Wow, that's really interesting. So what are some of the popular misconceptions about the services that you provide?
Right. Well, here's an embarrassing and little known fact about my industry. It's not regulated. Many other professional service industries are regulated, which means, anyone can claim that they're a computer repair expert. In fact, a lot of these business owners started because they got fired or laid off from their job and they couldn't find work anywhere else. That means that many of these so-called experts are useless, and they make sleazy auto repair shops look like the pinnacle and virtue of competence. Auto repair shops, electricians, plumbers, lawyers, doctors, dentists, accountants, they're all heavily regulated to protect the consumer from receiving, poor work or getting ripped off. But the computer industry is highly unregulated, and there aren't any laws in existence to protect the consumer. So, basically anyone can hang a shingle outside and promote themselves as an expert, even if they're honestly trying to help you, Tammy, and do a good job for you. Their inexperience can cost you dearly in your network speed and performance, or in lost or corrupt data. So, we're a little bit different because, we've been around for about 19 years. And, myself, like you said, I contributed to some number one selling books on technology. The other thing, is when I hire someone, I make sure all my technicians are fully certified, and I personally train them.
Right. That's one of the reasons why when I introduced you, I wanted everyone to hear about all of the extra miles that you've gone with these different certifications, because when you're in this business, and it's interesting about it not being regulated, especially when you think about how important the data is. And like you said, you're actually protecting people's information, their livelihoods, and sensitive information like credit card information. So it is interesting that it isn't a highly regulated type industry. And that's why it's so important for you as the individual person to have that integrity and that transparency that's required, so that people can trust that you know what you're doing. And those certifications with what you have, and of course what your employees have, it's really important. So I'm really glad that you brought that up, because people really need to understand that it's really about who you are and behind this company. And that's really, really important. So what do you think when there's all of these different people, there's everything from mom and pop operations to big corporations. Why do you think that some people don't think they need what you have to offer?
Right. Well, sometimes the client just doesn't see the value in the program, and they just don't want to make the commitment. And, for these clients, what we do is we allow them to sign up, try us out for 3 months. And at the end of those 3 months, if they're not absolutely convinced the service is worth every penny, they can contact us and we'll issue a complete refund. That way there's nothing for them to risk. And the only reason I do this, Tammy, is because we're very confident that they're going to immediately see the value. But if not, we'll part friends. And, I just want to say another thing. We help our clients with our technologies, but we're also helping them with business, because the technology drives the business. So I don't want our clients to think of us as just the guys who come in and fix the computer. We're actually part of their business success as well.
Well, that makes a lot of sense. And the fact that you basically give them that 90 days of being able to test out the system, and if they're not happy, to give a complete refund, that's quite a good guarantee. When you work with people, what would the process be to get started working with you?
Yeah, well, basically the process is they're either going to reach out to us by phone or through our website at colemantechnologies.com. But once we have that initial conversation, we're going to make sure that we're a good fit. We want to make sure that we can help you. And if we can, what we're going to do is we're going to come in and we're going to start an onboarding process, and we're going to start gathering all the information that we require in order to make sure that that you have as little to none downtime as possible.
Yeah, that's really important in the world today. You also say that you'll respond to your customers within 90 minutes. Can you tell me a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so we have for our clients a system for them to get in touch with us should they have any issue. So basically, they can pick up the phone and call us. They can send an email into support. We even have a little agent that runs on every workstation that we maintain, that they can just click on the icon in their taskbar and say, hey guys, computer's not working right, please connect. And within minutes, we take over the session on the computer and we fix the problem.
So are most of the computers that you work on, are they all PCs, or do you work with some Mac people too? Or what typically is that scenario?
Sure. Yeah. Good question. So the majority of the business computers we maintain would be, Windows-based PCs, either Windows 7 or Windows 10 and so on. But, more and more people, because of, them having Apple devices, they purchase Apple products, and we will provide limited support for the Apple computers. We actually can monitor and maintain them in the same way we can the Windows computers.
Oh, that's cool, because I happen to be a Mac person. So really, you actually can connect with your clients virtually. So if they're having some type of a computer program, you can actually go in and fix it right there without actually sending a technician to their location.
Absolutely. In fact, that's how we do most of the service work nowadays.
Wow.
And not only that, if you think about it, a lot of times during the day, the employees are working, and, we don't want to kick the employees off the computer because now the business owner is suffering a loss in productivity. So with our program, we can even go behind the scenes and work on the computer at the same time that the employee is using the computer without kicking them off. And of course, if we can't do that, we can also connect, after hours and on weekends when the computer is not in use.
Wow, that's really good. So basically, you make it so that these companies can stay productive even while maintaining their computer backend. So because you don't have to say, oh, sorry, computer's down, you can't do your work now. That is very frustrating.
Yeah, you got it. That's exactly how it works. And a lot of the things we do are proactive. So if we know something's going to fail ahead of time, our system that monitors is going to say, hey, you know what? This hard drive is going to fail, or this computer doesn't have enough memory. And it's going to tell us, and that way we can go have our quarterly review with the business owner, or on the spot review, and just say, hey, this computer is going to fail. Let's come up with a game plan before it happens.
Wow, I really like that idea, because again, productivity in the world that in computers, that's it. Because for example, if I didn't have my computer working right now, we would not be having this conversation. So I rely on my computer every day, and I'm just a small business. So think about these multi-million-dollar businesses who have hundreds of computers working at all times. That's really important. So if you were to give maybe one or two tips about what a business owner can do today to protect themselves from cybercrime or hacking, what would you say?
Sure. Well, number one, I would say know that it's going to happen to you, whether it's happened to you in the past or not at all. Your sitting duck, it's going to happen at some point because it's just so prevalent. But the number one thing that a business owner could do would be to have up-to-date systems. So the latest version of Windows or the latest version of Mac. So, install the updates when they come out, because usually the attacks are because they're attacking a flaw within the system itself. So if you keep those up to date, that's going to be most important. Second of all, make sure you have good antivirus on all your computers and have a perimeter firewall to be analyzing all the traffic coming in and out of your network. Those three things are going to help you, but the biggest threat to your business is your employees. So the number one tip I guess I could offer would be employee training.
Employee training. That's a really good idea. And when you say that related to computers, is that something that you come in and help with also?
We come in, and each business is different that we service, but we sort of have sort of more of a one-on-one. So when we're in a business and we're doing an onboarding, and we talk to the secretary, we talk to the president. we have a little bit of a different message depending on who we're talking to, but we do some basic training to make sure that employees know what to look for. When an email comes in, that they don't open the attachment or they don't click the link. And we always tell our customers, if you're ever not sure, that's what you're paying us for. Pick up the phone, give us a call, and we'll make sure we steer them in the correct direction.
Well, that gives me a question that I have. For example, often I need to send somebody an attachment, such as a Word document, to fill out. Should I avoid that and go to an online form? Would that be a better practice?
I don't know that it would be a better practice, but you might want to let your customers know ahead of time, hey, I'm sending this Word document, and just so that they know that it's legitimate. A lot of times people send attachments, and the client now, they're so paranoid because they know attachments can contain viruses that they just delete it. So if they know ahead of time that it's coming from you, there's probably minimal risk. But if you want to make them feel even better, a website form is a great way to gather information for you, and it's probably easier for them to fill out because not everyone has Word. Some people, for instance, when you sent me the document, I was on holidays, as you said. I was in Hawaii before we talked, and I didn't actually have a computer with me, so I was trying to fill out information from my iPhone, and it really wasn't that easy. Had you had a form, it would have been more convenient for the end user, for me in this case.
Right. Well, that's really good advice, and I appreciate that. So guess what? I just learned something, Darren, so that I can actually provide better service to my clients. And, even though I'm not a big, huge company, but that is really great advice about how to do that and what to look for, because I do know that attachments are very dangerous. So that's really good advice. So, Darren, if somebody wants to talk to you or get in contact with you, how can they do that?
Sure. Okay. Well, if they're local, of course, they can call us at 604-513-9428. But you know what? All our clients, they're not necessarily local. We do work remotely. So you can contact us toll free at 1-800-709-3665. Of course, our website, we have tons of free resources, ebooks, all sorts of different things that they might want to check out. So they can go to our website at colemantechnologies.com, and there's a contact form that they can contact the company, or they can check us out on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter. We're everywhere. If you search for Coleman Technologies, we're very big into social media. You should find us at the top of the search results.
Great. Well, I'm definitely going to go to your website and look at all those free resources, because just in our short conversation, I've learned a lot about how to protect my resources on my computer, because I think it's really important. And I learned, of course, the valuable lesson about think about the fact that your end user might not have Word, or they may be afraid of attachments. So providing that online form could be a much safer way and make somebody feel more comfortable, and maybe even help them fill the form out better. Like you said, you were trying to fill it out using your phone instead of a computer laptop. And believe me, I know how difficult that is, because I have fat fingers.
Right.
So thanks so much. Is there anything else that you'd like to leave the audience with?
No, I would just like to thank you, Tammy, for having me on your show. And if the audience would like to reach out to me, just colemantechnologies.com. And, even if they're not ready to, commit as a customer, but if they just have some questions because they're not sure about their current IT, give me a call. I'll give them some advice free of charge, of course. And colemantechnologies.com.
Great. colemantechnologies.com. This is Tammy Patzer. Go make it a beautiful day.
You've been listening to the Thought Leaders Show. To get all past shows and to get all future shows, go to thoughtleadersshow.com.